The final war is approaching. Who will face whom? The final war is getting closer. So the big question is, who's fighting who? In episode 1153, we finally saw the animated version of that infamous panel from chapter 1121, the one where Oda casually drops a nuclear bomb on the fandom by drawing almost every major player who could possibly clash over the One Piece. At the top of the panel, we have the obvious candidates, the four emperors, the pirates closest to claiming the throne of the seas. Below them, a chaotic mix of characters from both sides of the spectrum, heroes, villains, revolutionaries, marines, and world government elites. And now that we finally know who that mysterious silhouette really was, Shamrock, it's the perfect time to revisit this panel and talk about possible matchups in the final war. So buckle up and let's break it down. Let's start with a matchup that feels almost inevitable, Sabo versus Fleet Admiral Akainu. Now yes, there are multiple characters who could logically face Akainu, Garp, Dragon, or even Luffy himself. After all, Akainu murdered Ace right in front of Luffy, permanently scarring him both physically and emotionally. If Luffy ends up fighting Akainu, no one would question it, but here's the thing, Sabo fits this role a little too perfectly. Just like Luffy, Sabo was utterly broken when he learned about Ace's death. We literally saw his emotions explode the moment his memories returned, and the biggest reason this matchup makes sense. The Mera Mera no Mi. Ace's devil fruit now belongs to Sabo. Symbolically speaking, Ace's will lives on through that flame, so if Akainu, the men who killed Ace with magma, were to be defeated by the same fire Ace once wielded, yeah. That would be poetic justice at its finest. Oda loves symbolism. And this screams Oda. Since we're already talking about the Revolutionary Army, let's move on to a matchup that feels destined. Monkey D. Dragon versus Figureland Garling. Dragon was the one who first warned us about the Holy Knights, saying that once they start moving, the real war begins. Now yes, Garling has technically been promoted to the Gorosei, meaning he's no longer just a Holy Knight, but let's be real. You can't just ignore the history here. Their paths crossed all the way back at the God Valley incident. And what connects them even more? Garling is their biological father, yet ironically, Dragon showed more genuine concern for those two children than Garling ever did, although Dragon was technically on the Marine side during God Valley. That event was the moment he opened his eyes. He realized that evil doesn't exist only among pirates, it also lives at the very top of the world government. That realization is what eventually turned him into the world's most wanted man. So yeah, Dragon versus Garling isn't just a fight, it's ideology versus authority, truth versus manufactured justice. Now this one has the lowest probability, but it's still worth discussing. Kuzan, Akiji, versus Kobe. After the events at Hakanosu, where Garp was captured, this matchup suddenly doesn't feel so crazy anymore. Think about it, Kuzan, Garp's former student, Kobe, Garp's future. This is literally past versus present. Hakanosu was also the first time we truly saw how far Kobe has come. That honesty impact. Yeah, that wasn't normal Marine fodder energy anymore. Of course, let's not kid ourselves. Kuzan is still 10 times stronger than Kobe right now, but Kobe has something Kuzan is slowly losing, fire conviction. If Kobe ever wants to reach the level of Luffy, the men he promised to surpass, then Kuzan might be the wall he has to break through, and if he does, congratulations. Instant respect from the entire world. This one, undeniably inevitable, Shanks versus Shamrock, two brothers, two completely opposite upbringings, one raised by pirates, guided by freedom, one raised by celestial dragons, taught superiority. This is why the theme here is Battle of Destiny. Which destiny wins, the man who understands the world as it is, or the one who believes everyone else is just an insect beneath him? We already know how terrifying Shanks is, and he hasn't even gone all out yet, so the real question is, how strong is the older twin? Once this fight happens, the One Piece community is going to lose its mind. No debate, Luffy Blackbeard versus Emu. History repeats itself, yes. You read that right. Luffy and Blackbeard versus Emu. This will mirror the God Valley incident, where enemies temporarily united to defeat a greater evil. Emu's presence is different. That kind of power forces even rivals to cooperate. Blackbeard wants to become king of the world, just like his father, Rocksteady Zebek. Luffy wants freedom, different dreams, but one shared obstacle, Emu. So just like Roger and Garp, Luffy and Blackbeard may set aside their hatred temporarily to bring down the true final boss, and once Emu falls, that's when the real fight begins. Luffy versus Blackbeard. The final battle for freedom. Final thoughts, and yes. Buggy. So yeah, that's how I see the matchups based on chapter 1121's legendary panel. Do you agree, or do you have your own ideas? Drop them in the comments. Let's argue respectfully like true One Piece fans. Oh, and Buggy, yeah. He's obviously becoming king of the world. Just kidding, or am I?